Okay, welcome to the another lecture of heat conduction. Here we are going to see what is 3D heat conduction and how can I reduce this three-dimensional heat conduction process to one-dimensional heat conduction process. So once you understand the very fundamental concept of three-dimensional heat conduction, you will automatically come to know how to deduce one-dimensional heat conduction equation from three-dimensional heat conduction equation. So we are going to see a very generalized form of heat conduction which deals with transient as well, plus the energy generation also, plus the heat conduction process also. So once you understand this very basic heat conduction equation, you can solve any kind of questions in transient heat conduction or in case of steady state heat conduction process. Now let us say we are dealing with particularly with rectangular coordinate system. Let us say I have a huge metallic block, okay, huge metallic block as shown in this figure, and I take a very small magnified image of a rectangular block. This is magnified over here. Let us say x, y, z are the axis of coordinates. Now if there is a heat transfer through this metallic block from left direction to the right direction, along y direction, along z direction, on each side there is a heat transfer process now. So if I represent that process in a magnified diagram as shown in this slide, Qx is the heat transfer from the left side, and let us say dx is a length of that very small element along x direction. dy is the length of that element along y direction. dz is a length of that very small element along z direction. Now Qx is the heat flowing through the left face of this small element. Now if I am talking about heat transfer in x direction, what will be the cross sectional area that is in the way? It is dy into dz. So when I am talking of heat transfer along x direction, the cross sectional area is multiplication of dy into dz. When I am talking about heat transfer in y direction, here is the y direction, then the cross sectional area is dx into dz. When I am talking about heat transfer in z direction, what is the cross sectional area? It is dy into dx. Okay, so let us say dx is the length of that small element. Heat transfer is from left direction to the right direction. So on the left face it is qx, on the right side after this distance dx, the heat transfer rate is qx plus dx because of addition of this small distance, q after x plus dx. Similarly in y direction it is qy, and after some distance it is qy plus dy. In z direction it is qz and qz plus dz. Okay, now what is this E dot G and E dot ST? E dot G is the rate of heat generated inside that block. Means what? If there is a kind of chemical reaction because of which heat is produced, if there is any kind of nuclear reaction because of which heat is produced, that is heat generation, E dot G, and E dot ST is the heat stored in that element. Okay, so if I want to represent this physical process in a single equation, how do I do it? Rate of heat conduction at x, y, z direction minus rate of heat conduction as at x plus delta x, y plus delta y, and z plus delta z, plus rate of heat generation inside the element is equal to rate of change of energy content of the element. This means what? This is nothing but the energy balance equation. This means whatever the heat that is being stored in that element is what? Is nothing but rate of heat conduction minus rate of heat generation. Okay, so plus rate of heat generation minus rate of heat conduction at that particular location. Now what is the rate of heat generation? Heat generation is always dealt in on volume basis. Rate of let us say Q dot is the rate of heat generation, Q dot. Then for that particular block, what will be the volume of this block? It is dx into dy into dz. So whatever the volumetric rate of heat generation, it is Q dot into dx into dy into dz. What is the heat rate of change of energy content of the element? It is equal to del U. It is like a sensible heat in case of conduction, divided by del T. So rate of change of energy with respect to time, it is equal to rho Cv del T by del T into, for that volume it is multiplied by dx into dy into dz. It is nothing but mCp delta T divided by del small t. mCp delta T. mCp delta T means what? Mass is equal to rho into V. Rho into V. What is the volume of that element? It is dx into dy into dz. It is rho into Cv in case of metal, but these are all incompressible solids, so Cv is equal to Cp. That's why these two terms becomes equal. Rho Cp del T by del T into dx into dy into dz. This is the total for that particular volume. What is the energy stored, and that is changing with respect to time. This is rho Cp del T by del T dx into dy into del z. Similarly, now whatever the energy that is coming in plus whatever the energy that is being generated in that volume minus whatever the energy that is going out of that volume is equal to net rate of change of energy in that particular volume. So E dot in plus E dot G minus E dot out is equal to E dot ST, stored energy. So what is the net energy that is coming in? If out of this total volume, whatever the energy that is coming inside this volume is Qx, Qz and Qy. That is the energy coming inside the volume. What is going outside the volume? It is minus, it is subtracted. Qx plus dx, Qz plus dz and Qy plus dy. That's why it is shown as negative. So this is whatever the energy that is coming is summation of Qx plus Qy plus Qz. Whatever the energy that is generated is Q dot into dx dy dz minus Qx dx minus Qy plus dy minus Qz plus dz is equal to energy stored is rho Cp del T by del T into dx dy dz. This is for total volume. Now if I want to make it on per unit volume basis, what will I do? I will divide all the terms on left and right side by dx into dy into dz. Okay, so now how do I deal with these three terms now? Qx plus Qy plus Qz minus Qx plus dx minus Qy plus dy minus Qz plus dz. This gives me these terms. Del of Qx divided by dx into dx minus del Qy by del y into dy minus del Qz by del z into dz plus Q into dx plus d. This is the energy generated inside the volume for total volume, and this term remains the same. Now how do I come to this term? Qx is nothing but what? Rate of heat transfer in x direction is equal to K into area of cross section. In the start of this lecture we have seen it is dy into dz. Ka del T by del x, rate of change of temperature in x direction. Okay, this is Qx. This is Qy, minus Ka del T by del y minus Kay Az into del T by del z. Okay, so this is the equation which deals with the very generalized form of heat conduction, whether it is heat generation, whether it is transient equation or a steady state. This is a very generalized equation. It is called as Fourier-Biot equation. Now okay, this Qx is nothing but minus Ka del y del z with some mathematical manipulation, if I just divide all the terms on left and right side by dx, dy, dz, you will come to this equation. Okay, you need to have a homework for these two equations so that you can get what I have written. On the right side it is, see, dx, dy, dz term is gone. This means this equation is on per unit volume basis. Just substitute these values in the previous equation. You will come to know, if you substitute the value of qx, then dx into dy into dz comes into the picture. You divide all left and right side by dx, dy, dz, you come to this Fourier-Biot equation. The derivation of this equation is very, very important as far as the understanding of the heat conduction is concerned. So this is del by del x into k del t by del x plus del by del y into k into del t by del y plus del by del z into k del t by del z plus q dot. This is the heat generation rate per unit volume now, because we have divided the equation by del x, dx, dy, dz, product of these two, 3. So rho Cp del T by del Z. So this is a generalized form of heat conduction. Now here, why this conductivity inside this bracket? Because we have considered conductivity also as a variable with respect to temperature. If K is constant, then K will come outside this bracket, and we can divide this rho Cp term divided by K. So this becomes rho Cp divided by K if the conductivity is constant. But this is a generalized form of heat conduction which is called as Fourier-Biot equation. You can simply play with this equation and you can understand single one-dimensional heat conduction equation. Now with constant conductivity, what happens? K comes out of this bracket, so it becomes del square T by del x square plus del square T by del y square plus del square T by del z square plus q by k is equal to 1 by alpha. So on the right side, if I divide this by k, rho Cp by k, if I take the reciprocal of this, 1 divided by k divided by rho Cp. This is what? Thermal conductivity divided by rho Cp. Rho Cp is called as thermal diffusivity. The thermal storage capacity of that particular substance. Okay. So the ratio of this is called as alpha. It is called as thermal diffusivity. We will see the detailed description of this thermal diffusivity term in next lecture. So with constant conductivity, this equation we get. If I have a steady state, then what will happen? There is no change of temperature. Whatever the change of any quantity with respect to temperature will come to 0. So the right side term will come to 0. Steady state with internal energy generation, it is q dot is equal to 0. Here we have assumed k as a variable quantity, that's why k is inside this bracket. If k again becomes constant, it will come outside this bracket, and we will get del square T by del x square plus del square T by del y square plus del square T by del z square plus q dot divided by k is equal to 0. If there is no internal energy generation, then this q dot will also become 0. Okay. So now, how do I reduce this three-dimensional heat conduction equation to one-dimensional? What do I understand by one-dimensional heat conduction? This means that whatever the heat conduction that is taking place in y direction and z direction, if I am dealing with only in x direction, it becomes absolutely insignificant, or that process is so small in quantity that we neglect those. Heat transfer in y direction, in z direction we neglect, and only the temperature difference in case of x direction does matter. That's why we reduce this three-dimensional heat conduction equation to one-dimensional heat conduction equation. So one-dimensional steady state with no heat generation equation will become d by dx into k by dt by dx. Now this k is inside the bracket, that's why it is a variable conductivity. So we will see the detailed description of this equation in next lecture. Thank you.